Hello and welcome to Neat Me Debt Free. My name is Hannah, and this is my space to talk about my family's finances. So today's video is going to be a budget with me for May 2021. Hopefully this will be our last month of transition. We bought a house in March, and I don't know, everything just seems like it's moving very slow. The bills are coming in kind of slow, and which is fine, but I'm ready to get back to a boring budget, which is kind of where we were prior to all this transition. There is still one more bill. One more bill to wrap up our previous house. Our water, like our city utility bill. So it's water, sewer, and trash. Is that right? Yeah. That still has to come. I am kind of guesstimating how much it's going to be and where it's going to lie in this projection. But based off of their notice that they gave us that it would take about 6 weeks from the last day of service, I'm kind of thinking it'll come midway in May. And so that will wrap up our time with the other house, and then we'll get back into a new normal with all the bills here in the new house. So if you are returning, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, welcome. And as you can see, I am a spreadsheet budgeter. I budget chronologically because I don't have rotating paydays. My husband and I have full-time jobs. We are paid the last day of every month. And I also have another job where I'm paid every 10th and 25th. So because we have those set landmarks, I base our budget chronologically, starting our budget on the last Friday of the month prior or the last day, depending on how the payday falls. So even though this is our May budget, it may restart a couple days, or it may start a couple days in April. We do not budget ahead. I try to get close to a zero-based budget. I zero us out at the end of the month when I wrap up our budget, but I don't 100% zero us out in my projections. Okay, so let's get to it. So our buffer, we've kind of settled at this 300. I really don't know how much my check is going to be. I should get the projection here in the next couple days, but we're going to just kind of go with 3,200. Just I added a 403B, so there's a $500 deduction into that account, plus I got life insurance and stuff like that, and so all those deductions should be starting to come out in this May paycheck. It's actually my April paycheck for our May budget, and so that's why I'm not really 100% sure how it's gonna sit with taxes and everything. But those changes should apply. I went from part-time to full-time back in February, and so it took a couple cycles for them to apply the deductions. Okay. Oops. $4,600 for my husband. So the house payment, sinking funds. Is that right? I think I wanted to bump it up. Where are we at? Oh, I did want to bump it up to 1,000. So in the budget, I put just the flat amount that I'm going to transfer into our Ally high yield savings account, which is where our sinking funds are. And then in my master spreadsheet for the whole year, I divvy it up into the separate categories. And so that's what this is. This is accounting for that $1,000. Okay. Allowances will be $200 each. Vacation, car, Roth. So emergency fund. I have a goal, financial goal, to increase our emergency fund to $12,000 by the end of this year. So now that things are kind of slowing down in terms of saving for things for the house and stuff like that, I'm going to work on beefing this up. So I've projected for the rest of this year, I'm going to send $1,000 every month to our emergency fund, and that should get us to $12,000. This car fund and vacation fund, I save $1,200 every year. This is just for vacations if we go anywhere. And the car fund is just kind of slowly saving for our next car. Both of our cars are kind of older in years, and so I just don't want to be caught off guard if a car dies. We did have a car die during our debt payoff part of our debt-free journey, and we got really, really lucky where we didn't have to incur debt to get a new car, but I just like to be prepared. So $100 every month last year and this year has been going to our car fund. Groceries, it's a longer month, so $1,000. I do $200 every week, and we do our groceries generally on Monday, so I calculate the $200 for every week based off of how many Mondays are in the month. Eating out will be $240. We eat out on Friday nights. I budget $60 for every Friday in the month, and that's how I come up with that number. Gas, my car, gas for my husband's car. I kind of bumped it up because we're driving more. May will be our last kind of like maybe we'll drive still a little bit in early June, but we'll see. So I bumped it up just to kind of make sure that there's enough money for gas if we need it. Plus gas is starting to go back up. PG&E true up. Yard service. This is my husband's life insurance. So his is deducted separately from our checking account, and then my life insurance is actually deducted on my pay stub. So that's why you won't see mine applied here. It's just automatically with my net pay adjusted. Okay. PG&E, I still don't know kind of a good idea what our PG&E bill, our gas and electric bill is going to be for this house. Plus the solar has still not been connected with the energy company. So I'm just going to budget $250. This is our old house, water and trash. I'm thinking it'll show up sometime in here. I can move it based off of when it actually comes. I don't know how much it's going to be either. So I went with $200. Usually for a month, our water bill is like $80, $90. In the summer it bumps up, but yeah, so just to be safe, $200, but I'm pretty sure both of these are like way overshooting. But I'd rather overshoot and have leftover because I have a feeling right now we're going to be negative for the first time, but we'll see. Housekeeper, they come twice a month. I already know that they're going to come on the 7th and they'll come on the 21st. 60. I am scheduled to work one day this pay period, but that may go up. My schedule is in transition, so I might be available to pick up more days at that job. I'm also scheduled for one day for this pay period. Comcast, that's our internet bill. That should settle at $50. Netflix is $13.99. since we're still in April and I haven't gotten everything for April yet, I'm not sure if our water bill is coming this month in April or if it's coming in May, but I do know that is every other month, and I do not know how much it's going to cost. So I'm just putting it in just as a footholder. It may get deleted if it comes here in April. Again, this is obnoxious. I can't wait until everything is set and I know when the bills are going to come and about how much they're going to be. So I'm just kind of like overshooting everything. Water, I'm going to put in 200, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that high either. But again, you'll see that I always like to guess low on our income that's coming in and high on what's going out. And then what I, a lot of the time in the past have done is the differences I'll adjust for them and either move them to savings or whatever our current goal is for that month. Okay, so for this last section, kids allowance will be consistent, $31. Our Verizon bill is our cell phone bill, $101. And I am hoping with all the differences and stuff to at least move over $300 for the house. So you can see we have a negative of $64.15. This house is just things I want to buy for the house or things we need for the house. We're still waiting on our couch and our ottoman. And while I still have some money left in our savings account, I still want to contribute to it to pay for that. And then also we put in an order for shades for the house. I put 50% down, and then in about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks is what they're saying, we should get our blinds or shades installed in the house, and then the other half will be due. So I'm just going to continue to save money for that. And so I'm hoping we can put more than 300 based off of my over projections for all the other categories. But we'll see. So minimum, I'd like to do 300. And then everything else that I can procure or squirrel away, or I'm still selling things off, that will go towards this house fund. Okay. So I think we're looking pretty good. This number is totally ballpark. My husband, this should probably, I honestly could probably put this to 47. His checks so far this year have been averaging 47 plus. So, did that put us, we're in the positive. So yeah, I think I can keep it there. Mine, they fluctuate. So my husband's salary and I'm hourly. So that's why his stays fairly consistent and mine fluctuates. And that's why I have that other job to compensate for that. But anyways, if you made it to the end, thank you for hanging out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.